is Sheffy. She fell in love with Macky.
Both my parents are Muslims.
My family, they're concerned. We went through about a year and a half of not even talking to my mom.
But things came to a head when Canadian Sheffy decided to marry Macky and stay with him in the United States.
His family think that I married him for the green card.
My mom did a background check on my wife.
What are you looking for in that background check?
If anybody was to know about it, it'd be my cousin.
When his mom ran the background check, it came back with some things that raised an eyebrow. Hopefully it's not what we think it is.
So what kind of things did y'all find out?
We actually met online.
We met when I was 18, but we didn't meet up in person until I was 25. We decided to get married shortly after we met in person. The main reason behind that is I'm Canadian, right? So I can't be in America for a long period of time. So I feel like we knew we wanted to get married anyways, like we wanted to be together. So we were like, why not just do it sooner than later? I never thought someone would be as good as him, as cheesy as that sounds.
I think she had just never met somebody from the South before. My family is very religious. I kind of got away from a lot of that.
Both my parents are Muslims, so definitely very religious. I didn't tell my parents that I was married for 3 years.
My family, they're concerned about the cultural differences of the two different religions. We went through about a year and a half of not even talking to my mom. Recently, there's not as much communication as I'd like, but we've worked out some details. It's probably both parents are probably more alike than they realize.
Right. We're both like the black sheep of our families, right? They're in our heads trying to tell us how to live a certain way, and we're like, no. My parents immigrated to Canada from Bangladesh. It's a very poor country. I actually went to go visit when I was 12 and I cried. There's kids out there who literally are on the street because they don't have anything. We grew up in Toronto. You do whatever you want when you want because you're young and you have fun. And so the fact that I was coming from Toronto to the South, my Bengali background to the South. But the South is a whole different place. Chaat masala, my mom got for me to bring back here. That's one of my favorite things. Spicy, crunchy Indian snack. And they're so delicious. In our culture, once you're married, you're married. Whether you hate that person or not, you are together. There's no such thing as divorce. That just doesn't exist. So like the fact that he's been married or that he has kids with someone else is looked upon really poorly. That's what kind of prevented me from telling my parents. My mom keeps being like, oh, your cousin married this great guy. You know, he's a lawyer, their family did this, this, and this. That could have been you. I'm like, coulda, woulda, shoulda.
The last time they did talk to you, they were like, hey, there's this really good Bengali boy. He's a doctor, blah, 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 blah. I'm not Bengali. I'm not Muslim.
My parents don't want any of your culture in our kid. Yeah, I don't either.
We've had that debate a couple times, but it wasn't like
imagine if you were brought up like me. You would probably be a brain surgeon.
I might. One of the reasons that I've always been attracted to her is the way she dressed. She's always been very, what's the word? Opposite of modest. Not that I don't think she looked beautiful in this stuff.
So this right here is the top that you wear.
Sexy, sexy.
The skirt that goes with it.
Cute, cute.
And then you got this little thing here. My mom would be so proud of you right now. She'd be like, look at her. Actually, I do look pretty. What do you think, Macky? Would you marry me?
No.
What? Why not?
Not enough skin showing.
Clearly you married the wrong religion then.
I could probably get used to it.
Oh yeah? Part of his family think that I married him for the green card. A lot of people out there probably think the same thing because the dream is for all immigrants to be an American, right? Personally, I think Canada's a little better.
Sheffy would be like, why the hell would I want to come to America? I've got asthma, I have to pay for inhalers. Over there, I was getting free care. The only reason I'm in America is because of you. 2 years into our relationship, my mom randomly does a background check. So I think maybe my mom was trying to see if like she was just using me for money or what. I just don't even know. If anybody was to know about it, it'd probably be my cousin, Austin.
He's like a good bridge between the two different sides.
Today we're gonna talk to Austin and try to see, you know, what possible insight he has.
If he says some things that are like wildly weird and, you know, like, where's that gonna leave us?
Everybody was a little concerned about it out the gate. We kind of felt like it was more of like a money-driven thing, or maybe even a citizenship-driven thing. And we didn't want him to be used at the end of the day. His mother ran a background check on Sheffy, that is, and came back with some things that raised an eyebrow. What I want from our conversation today is some clarity. Hopefully it's not what we think it is, but
I just made some curried eggs. You want some?
no.
You sure?
I'm positive. That's terrible. What is it?
Onions and eggs.
her cultural dishes.
Right.
So, one of my favorite cousins, were there any concerns from your side even?
I think at first there was that kind of general concern of, what are you doing? It just escalated so quickly, just didn't want you to go down the wrong path.
What do you mean by that? Like, what do you mean the wrong path?
You know, I don't know if she was going to come in and, completely ruin your life. I didn't want to see you go down that path, because I did see how excited you were about Sheffy when you talked about her.
Were there like any concerns about our cultural difference?
I would say so. Like, sometimes having that such difference in culture, I think could cause friction in the relationship. And as you know, we didn't have the eggs with onions and stuff like that. But just as far as like your mom, when she wanted to run the background check, probably another reason they ran it is just to see how she grew up and what she came from at that side.
Trying to see the positive side.
We're trying to figure out how to accept her.
So when you guys did do the background check, what kind of things did y'all find out that would is alarming or?
There was just a couple different things, like from what we thought like your birthday was different from what it lined up on the background check.
Right.
There was a list of different jobs that you had held, and you being my age,
I needed to hold all these jobs to make enough money to go travel.
I get that, and I mean now knowing that, now I'm like, well, it makes sense.
Right.
But then back then I was like, how is that possible? I mean, was there any reason that you ever pursued him for anything other than pure love?
I want to say no, because I feel like I went from being up here to bringing myself down here to be with him, right? Like, I had a great life in Canada. I've literally picked up my whole life, moved to a whole new country where I don't know anybody but him. I've literally given up my own family to be with you. So if it was just for a green card or money or whatever it is, why would I be willing to give up my entire family? Plus, my parents have money.
Right.
Like, if I just stuck it up with my parents. So do you still have reservations about me and my relationship with Macky?
Me and Macky being as close as we are, I was really worried that it was going to turn out in the wrong way. But after I've seen y'all together for, the amount of time it's been now, I feel like we're getting to that point of just kind of being open, and everything's all kind of consistent with it.
So I think it was good talking about that with Austin, brought clarity to some things, and just having maybe a better understanding of where it may have stemmed from. Even if it is cultural differences, it's for a pure reason.
I think that went really well for me, because I thought, this whole time your family didn't like me, and so the fact that even one person just having Austin there kind of makes me feel a little more welcome. All the things that we face, I feel like other intercultural relationships face. Food, different customs, different ways to raise your kids. So just to have all of that come together and work together to create a great culture where you take the best of everything and incorporate all of it is so important, so we can all be this big, awesome community, right?